Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this two-part series from Small Victories by Johanna Basford, and we have the second dragon to do. So we're going to be coming in a bit closer. If my remote control isn't going to work, we shall have to do it on the actual camera itself. Let's get the book. There we go. So this is number 2 dragon. Let's just so we're actually going to be using our Castle Art pencils again, of course. Well, I say of course, not necessarily, but I'm going to just swap the colours over. So yesterday we did a red dragon with green leaves. Today we're doing a green dragon with red leaves. So I'm going to start with my lightest green and just do the dragon just the same way we did yesterday. So this is the leaf green middle. I'm going to sharpen it. I've emptied my sharpener, so I'm hoping that, oh yeah, that's much better. I'll be able to get a good sharp point on my pencil. For those of you who ask, it is a Staedtler Norris Club double hold barrel sharpener, just a standard one. It's the one I use most of all. I do have a dowel with hand crank sharpener and a handheld sharpener, and the handheld one is gold, it's lovely. And I have a Derwent hand crank sharpener as well. It's called Super Point Mini or something. This one is great for videos because it's quite quiet, portable, and that sort of thing. The hand crank ones are, I'm going to have to remember, I'm not colouring leaves green as I go around here and I'm talking and being distracted. Yeah, the hand crank ones are very good, but just noisy for videos really, so I use them. I do use them. The little handheld ones are really good for when my pencils get too short to fit in this sharpener and I want to just eke out a tiny bit of life in them. You know how it is, you don't want to part with them too quickly, especially the very expensive one. So I use the hand one for that, so that's handy as well. So I sort of use them all, but just for different things. Just been looking at desks for my husband. He can't sit at his desk that he has here at home because there isn't very much room for a chair because of the way the room is set out, and one of my sons has a desk and as well behind him, so he would they might pull their chairs out at the same time and hit each other, and he doesn't like that. So he was talking about getting a standing desk, and it seemed like a really good idea because at the moment his desk is covered in stuff and it's got lots of storage boxes underneath it as well, so you can't even fit a chair under if you want to. So the idea would be to buy him a standing desk with a, what's it called, a planner's chest, like a architect's chest of drawers with very long, not very deep drawers in it to go underneath the desk, because he wouldn't need to put his feet under, and then he could keep his art books and his completed pictures and all his equipment and different things like that underneath. At the moment he's got them piled in storage boxes and he can't actually get to it because things are piled on top of each other, and it's all a bit disorganised and a bit messy. So I thought it was quite a good idea. It's an expensive proposition, the standing desk. So I've found the drawers weren't as expensive. You can buy beautiful antique ones which are thousands and thousands of pounds, but we have one antique. My desk is actually an antique that I sit at in the sitting room. It was my husband's grandfather's desk. Yes. and but all our other furniture is quite modern. We prefer modern furniture, so this would be quite a modern looking thing, but I think that's fine. And it would go next to my new ish bookcase with my colouring books on, which is a modern look anyway, so that would work out fine, a sort of light wood modern look, whereas the desk is teak, I think, probably, or mahogany. I think it's mahogany actually, which of course we no longer try and use unless it's sustainable. But anyway, so this is the sort of idea, but our balcony work isn't even finished yet. We haven't had the glass delivered yet. Well, it's not being delivered to us, it's being delivered to the workshop where the frame structure was made. We've got the frame there, it's been there for a few weeks, but they put it up and then they order the glass. I think it's because they don't have a lot of room to store the glass, so they want to, you know, and also that I'm assuming that you would be thinking the longer you hold on to it, the more likely it is it's going to break. Right, so I've done my basic bit, and I'm going to, like I did with the yesterdays, don't worry if you missed it, I can show you, just put a bit of extra layering in places. And then we can move on to our leaves. I'll put some in the ear. Yeah, so we haven't had that yet. I should chase it up really. But he did say he would be in touch with me as soon as it arrived. I'm sure he's going to want to get on with the job as quickly as possible, because I haven't paid him very much yet. He's going to want paying. I'm going to go along the edge of the body. So anyway, that should be soon, and once that's done and paid for, then we can think about something else. We're also thinking about maybe getting a new sofa, maybe getting a new mattress. So there's a lot of little things to think about, and obviously it can't all be bought in one go. We have got some savings. We've got some money that's tied up though, some money that is easily accessible for emergencies and things like that. So, you know, you need to just take stock of what we've got and that sort of thing. And of course Christmas is coming with the expenses that come with that too. Yeah, which is always nice. I've started doing some already. Have you done any? Done any Christmas shopping? I picked up a few bits. There was a special sale in our town in the independent shops, and I went out and bought a few things from them, and they're sort of sounds a bit weird, general presents that could do with a few different people. So if I need to make some money up, or if I just want to give someone just a little something, I will use those things. I'm not going to say what they are in case anybody is watching that might know. My family don't always watch. My sister occasionally does, but I don't think she does every video. Only she watched my flip through of this book. So yes, so there's a few things. My mum's told me what she wants, so I have got her what she wanted. And actually no, my dad told me what to buy her. He said she wants this, this and this. I bought her X and Y, can you buy her Z? Like, sure, that's great. Easy, thank you. And then I'm going to use the permanent green. I'm just going to give it a sharpen. We're just going to do the horns and the end of the tail with this one. We haven't got a lot of different things to do. There we go. I'm going to do it darker on the edge if I can, so just layer it up a little bit more. But I haven't done loads, but we're not, as far as I'm aware, we haven't got anyone coming to us for Christmas. So we don't have to start planning food and entertaining, food, drinks, nibbles, you know, all that sort of thing, which last year we entertained a lot because we had a new kitchen, so everyone was invited over to have a look at it. Not all at once, but now for the leaves, I'm going to start with my darker red. Remember we used the vermilion? Oh, I'm just going to do one thing with the green, sorry. Permanent green nostril. Although that one's sticking out, and I'm just tempted to put a bit of shadow under like that. I don't think that's a hole because it's... I'm going to do it how you wish. That's how I'm going to do it. Right, so vermilion. So yes, we've already pretty much decided what we're eating on the big day, I think, which is pretty good. I always do a roast potato, or 2 or 3 or 4. Is that green? I think that gap there should be green. Yeah, I do roast potatoes and roast parsnips and roast sweet potato. And then I do boiled carrots, peas and sprouts. I usually make a bean bake of some sort. For me, like black beans with... I usually do some black beans with... we did these grassy ones dark. I usually boil some sweet potato and parsnips, smush them up with black beans, some bits of mushroom, stock cubes, squash it all together, stir in some oats, and then put it in a dish. I do this on Christmas Eve, and then just pop it in the oven, and it just makes a sort of bake. Because I can't eat nuts, I can't make a nut roast, which are delicious. I used to make chestnut roast, a very similar type of recipe, but I always make it up on the fly, so it doesn't always turn out the same. Because I can't eat onions or garlic or anything, it's tricky. But as I say, I put a bit of stock in. I can cope with the amount that's in the stock cube, a veggie stock cube, but not like a whole one or anything. So I usually do that. I might roast some chickpeas, and then I leave the men to decide what meat they want. Sometimes they want something really simple, sometimes they want something more exciting, but I let them decide. And that's we usually, if we're at home, which we will be, probably, we often eat in the evening on Christmas Day rather than in the morning. Gives you a bit more time to get organised with the cooking. This is a very pretty one, isn't it? I think I'm gonna sort of make it dark from that central point. Yeah, and then because we're used to eating a cooked meal in the evening, we're not so full then. But I might do it at lunchtime. I'll see what everyone wants. I'm pretty flexible, to be honest. It's actually quite traditional to have a cooked lunch, but a lot of people don't have it till 3 o'clock because it takes so long to cook a turkey, so they can't have it any earlier, and they might get up late or have a brunch, do presents or whatever before, and then have a late brunch, and then but I think I've heard of some traditions of having Baileys on cornflakes, or scrambled egg and smoked salmon and croissant, something like that. My boys usually like a croissant on Christmas Day, but I'll ask them what they want. I used to like them too, but I don't eat them anymore. Partly because lactose intolerant means I can't have the butter, but also they're quite white with all the white flour. I don't tend to eat white stuff. We're having our family Christmas celebration with my family on the 17th. It's the weekend before Christmas, at my sister's house, and then my father-in-law invited us up the same day. Oh, so that wasn't good. But we're going to go and see. I think they said Boxing Day. But I don't know. I can't remember now. So we'll see anyway. But yeah, it's we're already making plans. But I've got 2 advent calendars, which is rather greedy of me. So that's fun. I've got a little paper one, like a card, with little windows, and you get a picture. And I've also got a Body Shop one, which gives you like shower gels and soaps and things. So that'd be nice. I've never had one like that before. But husband and sons all had new laptops just recently, and I thought I'm gonna have a little something. You know, it's not like I'm not going to use it. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. So I'm going to treat myself. And yeah, someone gave me a little bit of money in my actually in my PayPal tip jar. I said treat yourself. So I thought, okay, I will. Oops. Now I'm grabbing the lighter red, which is the scarlet red. And I'm going to finish off all the leaves. And this is quicker than the first step, I find. Anyway, it's getting really dark outside. I've just noticed it is, what time is it? 5 to 4. Yeah, I guess it's getting dark. I didn't know whether it's going to rain or whether it's just getting dark. I think it's just getting dark. It gets dark since we've put the clocks back. It gets dark so early. It always seems weird. I don't understand. There's all this oh, we do it so that it's lighter in the morning, and I'm like, I think that's the right way around, isn't it? But it might be lighter at one end of the day, but it's darker at the other end of the day, so it doesn't really make any sense to me. But anyway, there are often people that say they wish they're trying to campaign for it to stop. And I think in the EU Parliament there was something about it stopping, but we're not in the EU anymore, so it doesn't affect us. But I would like to. I think they would left the member nations to decide themselves what they did anyway. But I would love to get rid of it. But yeah, it always makes me so tired and hungry and cross. And it used to be worse when the boys were younger and they just couldn't understand it. Be putting them to bed early or putting them to bed late, and they would, the babies, they just don't get it. And I expect it's the same for pets, I would imagine. But you can't explain it to them, can you? I don't know, having not had a dog, ever had a dog or a cat, not really being someone who wants one. I think if I had one, it would be a cat. Not a dog person. I've got nothing against people who love their dogs, and I can absolutely see why they do. But I just get a bit scared. It's I think it's from when I was a child. So I'm probably, if I had one, it would stop me feeling scared. But although I had a friend who moved in with a chap and he had a dog, so she took on the dog, that was fine. It was basically love me, love my dog type situation. Oh, my battery's working. We're going to do a background now. She did, but she said she was still scared of all other dogs, just not of his. And she said the dog was scared of other dogs too, which was quite interesting. Right, here are my Mungyo Pastels, and I'm going to grab a cotton cloth to apply some. I think these are getting really dirty. Oh, there's one. No, it's dirty on one side. That is a clean one. Got a few clean ones in here. I just tend to wash them. Make sure you've got a piece of paper under your page. If you didn't have one before, you definitely need one now. I'm just going to turn this around. Now remember if you were watching the first video and I did the yellow flower, I said I was going to do a yellow background. That's exactly what I'm going to do. But if you look at these pastels, we have a lemony yellow here. It's nearly worn up. A sort of sunshine yellow, but I'm actually going to use these colours. So these aren't so bright. This isn't so bright. I thought it would match better. So I'm actually going to start with this really light one. I'm just going to take some of the colour off first because it's got some dust on it. And then here it is. Look, it's quite pale. And I'm just going to apply that to the whole page. And hopefully you can see the difference. It is very pale, but we're going to apply a darker colour after. So I'm just trying to get a sort of base down really. I need to move across and just go in every white area. Now there's no rule that says you have to do a background. No one ever has to do a background. If you're not up for it or you don't like it, don't do it. If you don't have pastels, but you can do this in pencil if you want, but you wouldn't get such a smooth feel. Even the very best pencil artists, you can see the fact that it's done in pencil, but that's okay. For me, that adds to the charm. It shows it's hand done and that sort of thing, but but it'll take you such a long time. Whereas this is very, very quick, as you will see. Now, I have been talking in previous videos about maybe trying different brands of pastels. I find these very good, so I don't know if there are better ones. And I've also get asked about the cloth that I use. This is from Superdrug, for those of you who are from the UK, and it's just a reusable makeup removing cloth, cotton cloth. For those of you not in the UK, it's basically a pharmacist, a drugstore that sells makeup and toiletries, and this is a makeup removing sponge. You're supposed to put your makeup remover. I wonder if you could use it for nail polish as well, but it might be the nail polish remover is quite strong, isn't it? Right, we're going to go now to a darker colour, so I'm going to go just slightly darker, to this slightly darker ochre sort of goldish colour. You can see it's a bit darker. And I'm just going to rub it into the corners a little bit. I quite like just darkening the corners. I don't know why I do that. I've just seen other people do it and I thought it looks nice, so I copy it. And I'm not going to do too much more. I'm just going to try one little thing after. So that's my sort of background. It's quite pale. It's really pale in there. I'm actually going to put a bit more of this paler one in the middle here because it looks really pale, as if I haven't done anything. There we go, that's better. I'm going to brush this off and I'm going to put away my Mungyo Pastels. Where I put the lid there. And I am going to, grab my gold Pan Pastel and just put a little bit of gold on it. Now if you don't have this, then obviously you can't do this, but I only want a little touch, so I'm just going to gently dab, and I'm just going to dab a bit in the corner. like that. Now you won't be able to see any gold at this point, but I'm hoping that if I angle it correctly you'll be able to see it. Let me see. Yeah, so if I oops, just gently put the lid back on. So let me just tip that up so you can see. Oops, let's take this book away from me and this paper away so you can see the finished page like that. And then thinking, which way shall I tip it? If I tip it to the camera like that, I don't know if you can see the gold. It's quite pale, but I know it's there. It's just the tiniest touch. But there they are, our dragons. So you can see, I was saying about the book, it lies fairly flat, really. You know, I mean, obviously, this needs holding down a bit, and when you do that it holds it down better, but it's fairly good, I think. You know, it's workable with, so it does hold. I'm just going to brush off those last few bits, and there we go. So there is our dragon page. So I'm rather pleased with that. I think it came out, you know, satisfactorily. We have got pastel all over the string, but you know, that's fine, I don't mind. But there we go. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a really good day and happy colouring.